Mind the gap. What is this gap anyway? So I called up a good friend of mine, who's probably a good friend of yours too, aka Google, and I found out that the gap they're talking about is the space where the platform is and where the car comes in. It's not a big space, but it's a space that's big enough to trip you up, but it's small enough for you to miss it. As I sat on that car, I thought, I got some gaps in my own life I might need to mind a little bit. And guess what? I ain't alone, because you got a gap, you got a gap. These gaps that I call growth accountability points permeate our whole existence. And these gaps may be something in our lives such as you have a whole lot more month than you have money. That's a financial gap. Or everyone sees your phenom, your genius, your brilliance, but you just don't really see yourself that way. That's a mindset gap. I want to share with you a gap that I had to navigate. You see, my gap is I speak extremely fast. During my childhood, I was taunted, I was bullied, I was called a freak, and I was called some things I really cannot say in public or mention on this stage. I was broken. That normal, once effervescent, talkative, extroverted child was becoming depressed and quiet. Even my teachers thought that, 1, I was speaking a different language, 2, I had a speech impediment, or 3, I was developmentally challenged. After evaluators and physicians, it was confirmed I was none of the 3. I was actually on the other end of the spectrum, at genius level. My parents took me to doctors, and my doctor told me that my mind was moving so fast that my lips and my words couldn't keep up with it, which caused my fast flow. My oldest sister, God rest her spirit, was an educator, so she took it upon herself to help me navigate this fast talking. I want to share with you some of the steps that we took. So our first stop is accountability and awareness. I could have stayed in that space and given my same flippant response of, I don't speak fast, you just hear too slow. But I had to take accountability for that. John Maxwell, in his book, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, says that change is the precursor for growth. So if I was going to grow in this, I had to embrace it. Think about some gaps you have in your life. You got to be aware of them, right? And I want you to actually write them down. Don't keep them in your head. That's why there's still gaps, because they're still there. If you don't write something down, it really doesn't become real. So we're pulling into station number 2, which is create a plan and a strategy. Before my sister and I sat down and looked at and created this plan and strategy. She gave me micro goals and she gave me macro goals. And so one thing she did is she pushed me by putting me in every oratorical contest she could find. Yes, somebody who speaks with the speed of light, she put in an oratorical contest. But you know what? That plan and strategy worked because I slayed all of them. I brought home gold medals out of all of them, except for one. I got a silver, because why do you think? I was speaking too fast. So you already have at your disposal tools that you can use in your life. Not every tool worked for me, and guess what? The tools that work for you may not work for you, or may not work for you, but use the ones that you have to actually close those gaps that you've been identifying in your mind. So now you're aware, you created a plan and strategy. Are you ready for stop number 3? So as we board this train, tell me what you're going to do.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. All right, let's go. So the next stop on this train is called consistency. Now those tools and that map and that plan that I had and those goals I had, they were great. My goals were smart. They were specific, they were measurable, they're attainable. If I only used them on Christmas and Easter or first and third Sunday, guess what? It would have made a difference. I had to use them consistently every day and make them an integral part of my life. You can have a lot of opportunities, but consistency is the key. Now you can be consistently good at something, or you can be consistently bad at something. So make sure you have the right things in place to be consistently good. As we think about these gaps we have in our lives, and unless you actually do something about them, they're going to remain there. Remember, these gaps are not big chasms, but they're big enough to trip you up but they're small enough for you to miss them. Okay, I want you to take out your cell phone, and that's everybody in the room and those on the phone. And I want you to text GAPS to 833-511-0586. And that'll get your ticket to the next place to help you put things in place to close those gaps. Because remember, you got to be aware, you got to create a plan and a strategy, and you got to be consistent. My name is Jacqueline Jeter, transformational growth strategist, and I am excited about growth, and I'm excited about helping you with the gaps in your life. So as we get ready to get off this train, tell me one thing you're going to do. Mind the gap. Thank you.